Okay. Hello. Wow, I haven't done this in a while. Hello. We are the Brothers Geek, and this is our podcast. My name
Wow.
is. Whoa, we're doing it.
Who are you?
I was
Did you
about to do
forget
it.
about us?
I was about to do it. They all forgot about us. My name is Patrick Schmaltz with my two brothers, Christopher Schmaltz. Hello, Christopher.
Hi.
Hello, and Andrew. Hello, Andrew.
I'm here too. Hi.
We're brothers. We're geeks. We talk about geeky things. We haven't done this in. We used to talk about geeky things a year and a half ago. We're back.
We still talk about geeky things, but just hasn't been recorded for
Correct.
a year and a half.
Correct. Yes. Correct. Instead of trying to catch everybody up on a year and a half of all the things we've been watching, I think we'll probably just talk about things that are recent-ish. And what date are we recording this? This is June 8th. 2025, just to make sure, because it's been a year and a half.
Timestamp that shit.
Timestamp that shit. Cool. So, I would like to talk about probably one of the greatest geeky things of the past few years, the show Andor.
Yeah. We got a whole show on freaking Andor.
We could do a whole show just talking about Andor season 2 and and 1, but recently season 2 ended. And I think I even texted this to you guys like while we were watching. It was like episode like 1, 2, 3. I was like, okay, these are entertaining. This is good. But I don't know when sort of Andrew, remind me of the name of that planet, because now my brain went blank and I can't remember it. The Gorman.
Gorman.
The Gorman planet stuff started to really get hot. When that started to get deeper and more, that's when it like became the greatest Star Wars show ever made. Like that, and then
It's the greatest. It's the greatest Star Wars piece of fiction.
Yeah.
It's the greatest Star Wars anything beyond TV show. Like
right.
yeah. Yes, and I agree with you in that sense. That I mean, the way that it handled the Gorman storylines and how that crystallized everything basically into the birth of the rebellion. I was just at Phoenix Fan Fusion with my wife. We were standing in line for a panel, and we were standing next to some people. We were talking to them, and we were talking about Star Wars. And I said it's hyperbole in some ways, but it's recency bias. But there's some truth in it. There is an argument to be made that Andor, taken as a whole, is the best piece of fiction about revolution/rebellion that's ever been made. I think it raises to that level. I think it goes to the height of a fictional expression of the reasons why humans rebel against oppression.
Yeah,
it goes
okay, syndrome. Let me jump in there too. We get it. So like the thing about the Gorman stuff, it reminded me a lot of like World War II, like French, like insurgency. What do you? I'm recording video, right? Bye. So it reminded me a lot. He didn't like that I interrupted him, so he's like, I'm done recording. He like, how many points do you need to make, man? Like, what are you doing? We get it.
It's the first time back. You gotta let him just go.
He has to pee or something. We're recording for.
You gotta just let him cook. Just gotta let him cook.
I guess so. Like, say, yeah. I should remind him like off show that it's like you say your thing and then you let us like say the thing and then you can come back in with your other thing. You just can't just keep hitting your point. Yeah, just keep going. What do you think, Christopher? Andor.
Yeah, I texted you guys. I think I could debate and think about Empire as the best thing fiction that has been made in the Star Wars. But welcome back, Andrew.
Welcome back.
Hi.
But I assume when you say the taken all together, do you mean Rogue One as well, Andrew? Because I think that they are all part of the story, right? There, you have to take them all together. My perspective, and I think other than Empire, and that's the only debate. I think it's the only debate, but it's easily the long form. It's the best thing I've seen in the Star Wars universe by far. I weeped multiple times at the end of season 2. It is an incredible storytelling, and to your point, Andrew, absolutely nails the human toll on resistance fighters and the challenges and the sacrifices and the issues that they have to confront. Freaking incredible story.
Yeah, I think you have to take Rogue One into account. It's Jyn Erso's story, but having all the extra context that we do have now for Cassian Andor and what he goes through to get to that point where he will support Jyn on completing this task and going to where they go to and pushing all the limits, it gives so much more weight to the choices that he makes during Rogue One. I still don't have. I have no problem with it being Jyn Erso's story for Rogue One.
See, I disagree with you. I don't think it's Jyn Erso's story, because Mon Mothma, that story is up. I mean, talk about the risks and the sacrifices that she gave up. Incredible, right? They did such a good job of building sort of the circumstances around her and what her challenges and the position she held and the risks she was taking. If they had,
I think Andrew's saying I think Andrew's saying that like Rogue One is sort of Jyn Erso's story, and like Andor is sort of a secondary character.
Yeah, that's true.
And I actually think that it's sort of interesting, because like we've gotten to know Andor so much more through the show, so like it feels sort of jarring that he is not the main character of the movie for me. Like it in some ways it sort of diminishes Rogue One a little bit, because I feel like Andor is so good, and like you really see who he is.
I disagree, Patrick. I think it elevates all the scenes when Cassian is in those scenes, because because we have all the backstory now. All of that, all of those scenes where he's a part of it. He's a soldier. He's a spy.
Yeah.
But he's kind of a cipher, right, in the movie. But this show elevates every aspect of those interactions with Andor and Jyn. I think it doesn't diminish Rogue One at all. I think it sort of makes it much more rich.
I think it diminishes. I think Patrick might be, the word diminish might be not the right word. You fell in love with maybe Cassian so much. Going back and watching Rogue One again, you wish Cassian was in it more. Right. Or had more to do.
I think that's right. Yeah.
You went on this 5-year long journey with him. And looking back on it, you're like, it's the classic argument of long form versus short form. The 24 episodes of Andor that we got, and the story that they're able to tell over, the multiple trilogies of episodes that they built, like how they arced out the story, and how you can live with these characters for years. And then basically, in a lot of ways, Rogue One isn't like the final episode of Andor. It's its own thing, but there's so much more context and depth to a supporting character, essentially, in Rogue One.
Well, and it's like, it's just the best writing. It's so smart and so thought out and so Like the acting's amazing, and it's like the level of filmmaking just jumps up so much comparatively to, like, I don't want to badmouth Ahsoka but Ahsoka just feels so simple in comparison.
It's a kid. It's a kid show.
It's a kid show.
And that's
but
that's the glory.
Yeah.
For me, that's the glory of Star Wars, is those things can completely coexist, and you can get different things from them. Like,
right.
Ahsoka is high concept Ronin, samurai, the Force lore story, and Andor is a incredibly detailed, well thought out, well reasoned
Ahsoka is Rebel season
Revolution.
6. Ahsoka's Rebel season 6. So.
And there's totally a place for that. I don't mind that at all.
I never really watched Rebels. I was, but
I love that. Rebels is my favorite. Is probably my favorite. Andor is probably my favorite series, but Rebels is my second favorite series set in the Star Wars universe. It's such good Star Wars.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Christopher.
I was gonna say, Ahsoka got me to finish Rebels, to understand the final season of Rebels, like, completely tease up Ahsoka. So
right.
Yep,
and that absolutely got me to watch all of that.
Is there anything better that's on Disney Plus right now than Andor? I think it's the best thing on Disney Plus right now.
Show wise, like, if you're
produced for Disney Plus.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Star Wars stuff. This might be a hot take, but it's sort of like, since Disney took over Star Wars, I think Andor is the best thing since, like, and that with Rogue One is like the best content of Star Wars since the original trilogy.
As we said in our text chain, it is peak. They understand. Everyone working on that show understands what the core elements of Star Wars are, and it's so fully realized. They just get it, and not even more than Lucas got it.
Right. Right.
That's the thing is that they understand it at such a deep level, and they are so good at their craft that it far surpasses sort of what we can all agree is sort of inches deep ideas in mainline. Andor is a whole other level of great TV, not just sci-fi TV, great, incredible TV.
Yeah.
It's funny that you say, like, better than Lucas got it. I feel like Lucas was a very smart guy, and hearing him in interviews, and he, like, obviously wrote these things, but I just don't think Lucas is necessarily a great writer or a great filmmaker in general. I think he like had a couple of good ideas, and he knew what to do with them. But, like, even the original trilogy, he only directed the first one, and then he was he executive produces these things. So it's like everybody equates it to Lucas, because he's sort of like the thing that's spearheaded. But, like, I mean, the prequels are just a mess. I think there's some cool ideas in there that weren't done well. Like, it's like you could. I mean, yeah.
If we're being our harshest, there are parts of the prequels that are unwatchable.
Yeah.
That you have to close your eyes and cringe.
Yeah.
Because it's so.
We've talked about that.
Yeah. So I have like a short story to tell you. So you send us that picture of you and Hayden Christensen from Phoenix Fan Fusion. This was this past weekend, and Hannah didn't recognize him, but then as soon as we talked about it, she was like, "Oh yeah, that's him. I didn't recognize him. It's been years." And then I said,
"Well, he had a ball cap."
Sure, and he looks older. Like, then she remembers him. So I said to her, like, this story of he sort of got a bunch of shit for being in these prequels and not being a very good actor for years, and then 15 years went by, and then 20 years went by, and then all those people who watched that as a kid are now coming out of the woodwork onto the internet, and they're like, "Hey, I don't hate the prequels," and the prequels are my Star Wars.
They say it's their Star Wars. That's
yes.
right. Yeah.
And it's weird because like when we saw those, we're like, "Oh, these are dumb," but now that's why like I think Dave Filoni has done a lot, and Jon Favreau for some of it have done a great part about making the prequels look better. They are not good, but they've like told stories around them, and even like Clone Wars, the Clone Wars cartoon made it better. Even
the reason people, for my opinion, the reason people like the prequels is because of the Clone Wars TV series.
Yeah, I think the Clone Wars being so good and elevating the material a little bit
on their own. Yeah. If the prequels just existed on their own and there was no 7 seasons of the Clone Wars to add depth and interest and all this and all these other characters, they would not be as fondly remembered as they are currently remembered. Totally. The Clone Wars redeemed the prequels in a lot of ways.
Well, and so and because of that, Ahsoka was popular, and Hayden Christensen was in Ahsoka, and so he's having a moment where people are like, "Hey, remember him? I love him," and he's just not this like sad dude who drifted off into obscurity. Like he's like being remembered for being like a part of people's childhood. Nostalgia. All those kids who watch that are growing up, and then I want a picture with Hayden Christensen. I don't ever want a fucking picture with Hayden Christensen. I don't give a shit. Like, but I didn't like those movies. It's like those movies were not for me, apparently. But there you go.
I said before the podcast even started. I said it to my wife when we were driving down to the con this weekend. I've been going to conventions for 20 years. I've been to 20 plus, 25, 30 plus conventions in my life.
Yeah.
I've never paid for a celebrity photo op. I've never committed the time to wait in line. Never done it. My wife was the driving force on this, I love her even more because it was a unique experience that I've had now. I don't think I'll ever need to do it again.
Yeah.
What I will do, I think, in the future, and it'll be very, very person specific, is I will pay for a premium autographed opportunity where you bring something to a person. They charge you for it.
Chat you up.
You get time with them. It's not just you present the thing in front of them and they sign it and you walk out. Right. You have time with this person, and they, you have an interaction. They talk, they might put a little message that you ask for, whatever. You can get whatever you want signed. So this is the story. We didn't do it because we couldn't find the time. We couldn't find the opportunity. But Paige O'Hara, she's the voice of Beauty and the Beast from the animated movie from 1993.
Wow.
She was appearing at Phoenix Fan Fusion. Yeah. And she was doing autograph sessions and all that shit.
Voice of who?
Belle from Beauty and the Beast. Does the singing voice, the speaking voice, the whole thing.
Yeah.
My wife has a box full of classic Disney VHS with the original plastic cover.
The clamshell.
Tape, the clamshell. We have a Black Diamond classic VHS. If we had the opportunity.
That's the best animated movie of all time, dude.
Beauty and the Beast?
Yep.
Okay, I mean, we could talk about this for a second. Dude, we're going to deviate for a second. I mean, that's in the heyday, the resurgence, like the renaissance of Disney in the 90s. Yeah. It's like Lion King, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, and Little Mermaid. Those bangers came out like in my childhood, but like Aladdin is the best one of those, or Lion King. Like no one says Beauty and the Beast, right?
If you look,
The Beast is the best one. That's universal. It was nominated for Best Picture, dude.
Lion King destroys Beauty and the Beast. It is the best. It is the dude.
Absolutely not.
It's Hans Zimmer. Hans Zimmer is freaking what like JTT is doing the voice. Jonathan Taylor Thomas, 90s icon. It's
Beauty and the Beast was fucking iconic at the time.
James
dude.
Earl Jones. James Earl Jones.
He doesn't even sing. He is in the movie for 12 minutes and then he dies.
Yeah.
It's James Earl Jones, baby. Mufasa.
He's the voice of Vader. I
Yeah.
love James Earl Jones. The 6 minutes at the beginning of Beauty and the Beast where Belle is walking through the town and all the characters are singing and she encounters all these people is the best 6 minutes of Disney musical animation ever.
Fuck that.
It is.
Fuck that. The opening, the opening to Lion King, where it's like the sun is rising. Na Zenya. That gives you chills. Fucking every time. Like no, like that is perfect. Like the first opening, and the animals are waking up and they're running and they're like.
King, that opening for Lion King is spectacular.
Fuck
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
that's right.
Yeah.
But it's not as a whole. Beauty and the Beast crushes Lion King as a movie.
Whatever.
Do you guys
Wrong.
remember that? You guys remember the fact that was the trailer that the trailer for the Lion King that they released with Aladdin was the first 3 minutes with
Yeah.
the Circle of Life.
Yeah.
You're sitting there in the theater and you're just like, what am I watching? It
What?
just blows you away.
What just happened? What?
Yeah, right. So amazing.
Yeah.
Getting goosebumps.
That's what I'm saying.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree.
And it's freaking.
Yeah.
It's the best they've ever done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, I guess we can move on. Anything else you guys want to say about Andor? I got some touchstones I want to talk about a little bit.
I think they're going to teach. I think Andor will eventually become like this thing that they teach college level classes about.
Oh yeah.
I think that it raises to that level of art form. They will teach in film and television and literature about Andor and how it addresses certain themes.
Well,
I can
and then
absolutely see that.
you know what, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's like I seen interviews with Tony Gilroy, and that is a very smart man who loves Star Wars, knows Star Wars, and is writing next level stories about his Star Wars because he grew up with it and wanted to make his own Star Wars, but like in a smart way. Like
just to cap it off, just as a reminder, Tony Gilroy wrote and directed one of the most rewatchable movies ever with Michael Clayton.
Oh yeah.
If you guys haven't watched Michael Clayton, that is as good. I mean, you can rewatch that movie once a year and it's entertaining.
If I land, there isn't a missed step in.
Yeah.
If I land on it on cable, and it hasn't been on cable. If it's like on a movie streaming, if I land on it, I'm watching to the end.
100%.
That movie is incredible. Yeah.
Incredible. Yeah. But yeah, Tony Gilroy, you're absolutely right. Smashes it out of the park. And he made a movie made a TV show that feels like the best Star Wars. It doesn't deep dive into lore. It's not a cameo fest. It's not a fan service fest. Exactly. And Filoni and Favreau, as wonderful as
that needed to be told, that is it energizes for me as the 7-year-old in me, right? And that opening shot of episode 4 of the Star Destroyer chasing Leia's ship, it energizes all of that. Like the 7-year-old in me with Andor now has filled in. I remember thinking, oh holy shit, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And now as an adult, that story has filled that moment to the point where now when I watch New Hope, I know everything that went into that moment where they're running from Vader. It's fucking incredible.
You know what? I just want to like check your brains here for a second. I saw something on like just the internet, like Instagram or somebody saying, you watch Rogue One, and then you realize that the sequel trilogy, Rey's trilogy, doesn't have any like going through hyperspace scenes. And I started to think about it as like, are there no like traveling through hyperspace, like the tunnel, like the Star Wars light tunnel?
That's incorrect.
I don't think there are any.
It's factually incorrect. There is absolutely traveling in hyperspace transitions from area to area. It's absolutely.
But no, the rushing lights at you, that part.
They do. Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, they do.
I don't think it is. I don't think they did that once.
Anyway, move past it. We're
moving past it. Okay. I'm gonna do. I want to do rapid fire of.
No.
Geeky.
No. We gotta devote time to Sinners.
Yes.
Okay.
Because that is it's not the.
Okay.
Andor and Sinners exist.
Okay.
As the best movie I've seen this year, Sinners. The best TV show I've seen this year is Andor. The best movie I've seen so far this year is Sinners, and we have to spend time on Sinners.
All right.
Because it is a singular cinematic experience.
Okay, go ahead, Andrew. You're steering the ship.
I'm steering the ship. What Ryan Coogler did, and how he created this mashup of Americana, blues music, deep kind of like
race,
magical lore, race, of course, and also crystallizing it all in this incredibly well done horror movie that even just that elevates everything we just talked about, elevates the race questions, elevates the music questions, elevates the American questions that are posed by this movie, and it does it in a horror vampire context. What they pulled off, I've seen the movie twice. I mean, it's better the second time. I will buy a physical copy when it's available, and I will have it in my regular rotation, because it gets to the point where you only can describe it and how it makes you feel. It made me happy. And you said this about The Dark Knight the first time I've had this conversation. We all three said this together. The first time we saw The Dark Knight, it makes us happy. We are alive to experience these things together.
Yeah.
The Sinners made me happy to be alive and being able to go to the movies. And I don't think you need to say that. I mean, yeah.
It's the highest praise.
So like I don't disagree with anything you're saying. I think it was an incredible movie. I think that cinema in general has been sort of lackluster the past few years, and the audience, like people going to the movies, have responded. And I think this is an elevated movie that is intelligent and well made and all these things. But I will say I couldn't help but notice, and I know I'm going to get shit for this, it is sort of a remake of From Dusk Till Dawn, and I noticed this, like the two big vampire movies that came out in the past few years, Nosferatu is basically a scene for scene remake of Dracula, like Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula.
Right. There's a story for that. It's the original. Yeah, we can dive into the lore of all of that, but there's a reason for that.
Right.
I think you're mistaking remake for Ryan Coogler embracing vampire horror tropes in his filmmaking, in his story.
Like not remake, but like it is the same sort of, like it's like setup, big long setup during the day, and then crazy vampire night stuff. Like,
well, he had to the point where I think there's definitely some sort of similarities, Patrick. I agree with you, but I think that it served a purpose because he had to tell the story that he wanted to tell, the larger non-vampire story. He had to have a juke joint that was a gathering place for that community, right? That was what. And then he uses, Andrew, to your exactly right point, he uses the tropes associated with Southern lore, Southern lore, the hate stuff. Like I'm deep in
Yes.
hate stuff because our daughter is going to school in the South, and so we've totally embraced this idea about the paint blue and all of that in our
How do you spell? I tried to like Google that after I saw the movie. How do you spell hate? Hate.
HAINT, haint.
Oh, okay.
Heat. Okay.
Haint.
It's
Yep,
like
haint
haunt.
blue.
It's like haunt with an I.
Correct. And
Oh.
the lore behind the haint blue painting the ceiling of your porch is fascinating, but I caught that immediately and anyway, the point being that to facilitate and tell the story he wanted to tell about this is a safe space for that community that became a safe space for other reasons, but then it became problematic and is awesome. Kugler operates at a whole other level too. So I agree with you, Patrick, that it's similar to that, but it's very different from much more of the Tarantino simple sort of mindset. And so, but yeah, I think it was a centerpiece for the story that he was trying to tell.
Right. No, I don't like. I just saw the pattern, which is weird.
Yep.
Like these two big vampire movies are both sort of remakes, or like have the same structure of vampire movies from old. And I couldn't help but like not comment on it, I guess, because I think that Sinners is light years ahead of From Dusk Till Dawn, and I think that even Nosferatu is light years ahead of Dracula, because that Francis Ford Coppola Dracula is almost unwatchable. But like I just is like, why are they like, are we just like coming back around? Like, is like everything just sort of I'm starting to if I smoke weed, I'd be like, man, it's just a remake. It's just everything is just a remix. Like what's happening to time? Time is a circle, a flat circle. Like what are we doing with our lives? Anyways, sorry. That's
yeah.
yeah.
I think the commentary is totally legit.
Yeah.
But I think I look at it from the lens of there are certain tropes that are embraced when you make a movie like this. When you tell a story with vampires, you are there's the general rules that exist in a vampire story, and the rules serve your story, or they're just rules that are part of the story. And I think the rules of a vampire horror movie absolutely are elevated by this movie. It creates that tension. It creates that and just the metaphor of this is our place, and you're trying to invade our place and take away something that belongs to us when you've taken away so much else. The vampire metaphor of they homogenize, especially in this one where everyone is controlled by Remick, so they homogenize and it becomes like a cult. To remove that individuality, but it's that absolute metaphor of you get bitten by a vampire, you become a vampire, you have no choice. But we're trying to create this safe space for ourselves. I love that.
It's genius. It's genius in the co-opting the lore of vampires and vampirism and the origins of all of that. The other, right? It's genius in what Remick was selling was attractive. And the audience that he was talking to would absolutely listen to that because they were under siege all the time. And that's the genius of the story is that what he was selling was culture and community and safety. And so of course that's the beauty of it, is that they're not evil. They're not evil. They're selling something that it absolutely lands with everybody in that building who's listening to it, because it was Asian folks, it was African American folks, and they are all marginalized in the South, all of them. And so what he's selling, and the Irish were too. That was the genius of it too. Is the Irish were marginalized too, and so they were not the welcomed Anglo-Saxon, to our shores either, right? So that's the beauty of that movie and why it's elevated. That he's operating on storytelling level and co-opting all of that in a way that tells a story that's deep. I mean, what do we expect? Black Panther is a fucking genius movie, superhero movie about deep shit. Mm-hmm. And Killmonger is right.
Yeah.
Killmonger is right.
Yep.
And so there are elements of Remick that absolutely he is correct in what he's selling.
Well, and like, go ahead, Andrew.
No, just say you listen to Remick and he makes sense.
Yes.
But clearly he's the villain of the story,
right?
Because everyone has to control, like, you have to bend your will to him. He has, all he knows is his own desire. He's selling you on something that makes total sense, and he might be empowering you, but at the same time, he's going to destroy your life.
Freedom.
Yeah, your freedom.
Yeah.
Your freedom and your soul are gone. Yeah.
It's that dichotomy of you can have safety and eternity and power, or we can try to find some semblance of joy and freedom together.
And then Coogler turns it on its head, because clearly the two of them at the end of the movie in the after credits are fucking thriving.
Yes. Yep. No, it's crazy. Like, spoilers for Sinners. I don't know. Like, we haven't really said a lot of but like Michael B. Jordan, one of the twins, shows up with what's her face? Yeah, and
Mary.
They're freaking still vampires, still alive, still 70. Yeah. It's 70 years later, and it's and they don't just kill everybody. Like, they walk in and they talk to, the old man that they used to know, and it's crazy. I was like, oh shit, like, this movie's not over, and I'm like,
oh yeah,
no, that seems like incredible.
You feel the threat.
Yes.
At the same time, the menace.
Yes.
It's so palpable. It's so palpable.
Yeah.
And it makes it's put this perfect capstone, because it's Sammy's story.
Mm-hmm.
Smoke and Stack are the protagonists, but it's really Sammy's story.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And he is at peace with his life.
Yeah.
And not, fighting Remick made sense, and he made his choices, and he is at peace. He's okay that he's gonna die. He has a chance to be.
He chose music, and he chose humanity. Yeah.
Well, and it's crazy. Like, I get chills just thinking about this line that he says. Like, he looks at them and he says, up until like that moment, that was the greatest day of my life.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my god, this movie is so fucking good. Fuck. Like, that line really just is like, yes, you were
amazing. If you guys haven't seen, if you haven't seen Sinners,
go watch it.
Sinners.
Yeah,
you'll be better for it. You will be better for it.
I don't have my list of no.
Even talking about the best scene. That scene where it goes through the generations, the music scene where the juke joint, where it goes through the generations of musicians and shamans, that's easily one of the best scenes I've ever seen in any movie of all time.
Yeah.
The combination of imagery and music easily leaps immediately to top 5 for me of all time. Of music scenes, scenes in a movie. I
immediately, as soon as the movie was over, I Googled the vinyl for that soundtrack, and you can just go listen to it on Spotify right now. But, like, the music is so good that I wanted it, and it doesn't come to my house until August. and I'm
did the
so
same.
I'm so
Same.
yeah. Like this is the the background of vinyl is like there's only a couple of vinyl plants in the whole world, so it takes months to get albums out now, and it's like yeah.
Album is going to be great.
Yeah.
But the combination of the music and the imagery,
Yes.
Coogler's imagery,
Yes.
is perfection.
Yes.
Perfection.
Yes, perfection. Okay, am I allowed to do my rapid fire now, Andrew? Okay.
Go ahead.
Last of Us season 2. I liked what?
Yeah.
What was that?
I was just saying, I was commending Andrew. We had to talk Sinners in detail. It's the best thing I've seen this year, other than Andrew.
Okay, so I got a list that I want to rapid fire here. Last of Us season 2. I didn't hate it. There's a lot of people who hated on it pretty hard.
And I fell off because anyway, I'm still working on it. Yeah.
I didn't hate it. I think it was too short. I think they should have done the whole story in one season. I know that they did this it felt I got House of the Dragon season 2 vibes where it felt like they were goofing around a little too much and not telling the story. And too short. Like
It was it felt like an incomplete story to me.
Yes.
Which I get because it's based on something that is told two parallel storylines essentially. So they had to figure out a way to translate that into television, and unfortunately, it just turns into kind of an incomplete feeling story that they told over 7 episodes.
I think they should have tightened it up, and they should have done it in 10 episodes and done 5 and 5, and I would have been happy. I know that they want to make more money. I know they want me to come back, but the reality is they're not going to have a Last of Us season 3 for probably a year and a half. Like, so what am I supposed to do with that?
Suck it up. Cancel your HBO Max subscription until they announce they're dropping season 3.
Screw you. Don't tell me what to do with my life. Doctor Who season, I don't even know what season we're on, but this is season 2 of, I'm gonna butcher this guy's name. What's his, how do you say his name, Andrew?
Ncuti Gatwa.
Ncuti Gatwa. I mean, kind of goofy, kind of silly. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. Sort of bad. I didn't like sort of that there's this overarching plot through the seasons. I think they should have just done crazy timey-wimey episodes, and then like, do they have to leave it at how they left it? I don't like that he only got 2 seasons. I actually thought he was the best part of that series. I don't know if you guys are still watching Doctor Who. No, Christopher? Yeah.
I fell off of it in Jodie Whittaker.
Yeah.
And
I stopped watching Jodie Whittaker too. Yeah.
I love it, but I haven't watched since her last season.
I actually didn't hate, like...
Yeah, she was good.
Yeah, no, I thought it was fun. And I've been like trying to keep up with Doctor Who, but I have my gripes about that too. But I just keep watching it because I don't know why.
So I just have a brief aside to a point you made about Doctor Who, because I've been doing a rewatch of Next Gen.
Oh yeah.
And your comment about you wish Doctor Who was a little less kind of overarching plot, more episodic, more timey-wimey fun.
Yes.
Monster of the Week.
Yes.
Monster of the Week, Adventure of the Week, Love Interest of the Week, whatever. Next Gen is exactly that.
Yes.
It's so funny to go back and watch Next Gen again.
Yeah.
And literally, it's just episode, they go to a planet, they have an adventure, they go to another planet, they have an adventure, they meet random weird aliens, and it's a metaphor about something human experience. But the next week, totally different. It's the same 7 people, but and the characters don't grow. like
yeah.
Picard is noble and smart and trust and like engenders trust from episode 1 till episode 178. Riker is charming and roguish and stalwart in the first episode, and he's that way in episode 178. Worf is
how far are you into this? Like what season are you in?
Season 7. I'm in
Okay.
episode 4 of season 7.
Okay, I will
last
say
season.
the peak for Riker, which is kind of like is the two-parter Best of Both Worlds, like end of season 3, beginning of season 4, because but like they really are trying to touch on like, do you want to be a captain or not, and then he looks like his character is going to grow, and then he literally doesn't grow for the rest of the series. Like
None of them do.
none of them,
Nobody has an arc.
except
It's
for
wonderful.
Picard. Picard showing up at the end of season 7. You're not there yet, but you've watched it already. Spoilers for Stargate, Next Generation, Star Trek. Like he shows up at the end and he plays cards with them. That's growth. That's character growth. He learned something. Yeah. What's that?
What, Christopher?
In the final episode.
Yes.
In the final
Episode, he has growth.
He comes to have a new appreciation for those people in that 90-minute
Yes.
2-part final episode.
Yes.
But it's not like you don't hear his commentary about, you know what, I wish I'd done, it's not built up over 5 seasons. Like,
I think
has that, he comes to that realization in 90 minutes at the end of the show.
Are you?
There's episodes where it's sprinkled in about when he's back on Earth and he's at his vineyard and he's thinking about his life and shit like that. I mean, there is attempts at various points in the last couple seasons to sort of get him to be thinking about what has he done with his life, right? And so there's all of that, those touchstones. I forget the name of the episode where he went into the alien artifact and he lived an entire life inside the alien artifact. Inner light. And so that's an incredible, one of the best episodes of all time. And also offered perspective on what's the point of living and living a good life and all of that shit. And so with Picard, they tried to give him moments like that to have opportunities for growth, but it was all essentially internal. There wasn't a whole lot of, oh, I have now changed. And he did a little bit in terms of how he dealt with Wesley and shit like that. But yeah, Picard, he was just like everything you described, Andrew, throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
And just to we'll move on from this. I just have to say it. Patrick Stewart is the best actor in the history of Star Trek.
100%.
Like, he blows everybody off the screen. He's so good. He is so committed to every moment he's in, and he just delivers.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, continue.
Are you going to continue Picard season 3 when you're done with season 7?
I don't know. I might do a whole rewatch. I might give Discovery another chance. I'm in a very Star Trek-y mood. I might give
Discovery's crap. Discovery's crap.
I mean, it's Star Trek, and I'm embracing, and it's a different storytelling style. It's the overarching, drama.
Yeah.
So I might give it another chance. I don't know, but it's so funny to look back on. We would get 26 episodes a year.
Yes.
And now to think about, we feel spoiled with like a 10 episode season or a 12 episode season of the show. The fact
12 episodes feels.
We got to talk about.
12 feels long.
12 feels long. The fact that The Pit on HBO Max, which is also a great show, and I don't get down with like doctor dramas or whatever.
Yes.
Was 15 episodes. Mm-hmm. That felt like an embarrassment of riches because it's like, oh my god, we have 15 episodes of this. I
will comment on The Pit, and I will say what I said to Hannah. It's like, this is a doctor drama that's done so well that it's like it's going to be nominated for all kinds of shit. It's going to win all kinds of shit. It's that kind of show. It's like so well written, so well done, so well made. Like the characters are amazing, and it's already
I love the urgency of the telling in real time too. I love that urgency storytelling aspect.
I haven't watched any of it yet.
It's really good. I'm not a big fan of doctor shows, and there's like a billion of them, so they're like a dime a dozen. But this show is really good. This really good show. It's like very well made. Okay, continue with my rapid fire. Murderbot on Apple TV. I think it's kind of light. I think the episodes are too short. I only sort of liked it because you could right now you could watch like 5 episodes in a row without being break. If but the episodes are so short, and literally one of them is 23 minutes long. Like if I didn't have another one to watch, like I don't know if I'm gonna last week to week. But the story's kind of interesting. Like it's the kind of thing that like you could watch all the way through in one sitting. Like binge watch once it's all done. Maybe it's better, but it's fine. It's just like science fiction goofiness. I love science fiction.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I, it's okay.
Right, it's okay.
It's okay.
I kind of like Alexander.
I haven't watched an episode, and I'm not honestly that. It's down. It's way down on my list.
It's pretty goofy. It's pretty goofy, funny, violent. I like Alexander Skarsgård. I think he sort of carries the show for sure. Yeah, and so I just wanted to comment on that. I saw Thunderbolts. It sort of got it didn't make a lot of money. They didn't make enough money. It made a lot of money, but it didn't make enough money.
I hate that that's the commentary surrounding this movie.
Yes.
And it's one of the best Marvel movies we've gotten in years.
Correct.
It is such a good movie.
It's
so
better.
Entertaining.
It's better than most of whatever their phase they're trying to talk about now. Phase 4, like there's no they fell apart in phase 4 for sure. And
I hate that is the commentary. If a Marvel movie doesn't make $1 billion, it's a failure. I hate that that's the commentary now.
These movies cost so much money to make that it has to make $500 million to break even, to make a profit. I
get it. I'm just saying, evaluating it based on that, it annoys the shit out of me.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Did you enjoy your time? When
I loved it.
Only commentary
I loved it,
be,
and I
understand why you're bringing it up.
Yeah.
But the only commentary that I feel like we should ever say about a piece of fiction or art is, did we enjoy the time we spent with it? And if you did, then that's all that need to be talked about.
The reason why I bring it up, Andrew, is very good, and it didn't make a bunch of money, and I'm worried that they will stop. They were like, that didn't work, obviously, so we can't make movies like that. No, it worked, and it's very good. I just don't know why people didn't go see it, or they have Marvel fatigue or superhero fatigue.
I think honestly, it's Marvel fatigue.
Yes.
I think it really is. We were spoiled with Infinity War and Endgame. We want every Marvel movie to feel that important and big, and they just don't.
Well, anymore. And I think that there's part of it is like the story since then has been sort of meandery and not as compelling, and the movies have not been consistent, and
the coherence of the first phases
drove
everything, right, and drove all the energy around it. It was totally coherent. We understood and loved the characters. We had a reason. Every movie gave love the characters, all of that, right? And this whatever phase we're in, they're so muddled, and they really they went down a path where the real world intrudes on and disrupts what they were trying to do, and that was muddled too. And they painted themselves into a corner about multiverse and Ant-Man shit and all of that, and they really tell a good story and people will flock to the theater.
100%.
That's the problem.
I'm definitely gonna go see Fantastic Four First Steps though.
Oh yeah,
totally. You know what? I was telling Hannah, it's like I was looking at the movies that are coming out in the next like couple months, and I'm actually excited to go see movies again. Like there's some good movies that I want to see in the theaters. Like I was excited for Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. I think it was not the best of the Mission Impossible movies. It was kind of weak. But like I went to go see it in the theater. I was excited to go see it. So
Chris and I went and saw it in 70 millimeter IMAX.
I don't think it was weak, Patrick. I disagree with you, but it was middle of the road. Mission
Yeah.
Impossible.
Yeah.
You know, maybe that's right. Maybe weak is a little harsh. Like I'm really excited for Fantastic Four. I'm really excited for Superman. I'm really excited for 28 years later. I'm really excited for Jurassic Park, Jurassic World Rebirth. I'm really excited for the F1 movie. You know, what else am I?
Skeptical of the F1 movie, I gotta say. I'm totally skeptical. I mean, I appreciate the cinematography that likely went into it. It's gonna be also a spectacle, like Mission Impossible was, but I'm skeptical that they can make a coherent. I mean, it's the previews have suggested that it's cliche fest.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I still want to see it, and I like that director.
Again, tell a good story and people will watch.
Tell a good story and people will watch it. Yes.
That has been the people and the best movies that have been out understand that the new technology, the new capabilities in filmmaking, all can't be the focus of the story.
Yeah.
You have of the show. You have to tell a good tale with compelling characters, and then it's enhanced by all the kick-ass tech that they have at their disposal, right? I mean, that's the problem.
So,
in my opinion.
Totally agree.
F1, just to comment about F1 for one more second, I think it's wild that they literally shot it at actual races over the course of like 3 years.
Yeah.
Like, this movie has been in production since like COVID.
That's crazy.
It's wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah. They shot at actual F1 races, but they would shoot it during the season, but literally it's been in production for like 3 years.
I don't want to end it on I don't want to end it on this note. This seems like a good note, but I will comment on Daredevil Born Again. I watched that. Not very good. Episodes were sort of all over the place, and I would say the last 2 episodes of that were the best. The first episode and the last 2 episodes were the best of the season, and that's not very good. So I hope they come back. I really like the Daredevil
themes, and I like the story and the torment. It's a lot of torment though. It's
a lot of torment. Yeah,
that character is tormented, and it's hard to it's hard to escape. That's the core of that character is he's tormented. So it's kind of tough to escape that. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to comment on before we sign off here?
I have one thing I'd like to recommend.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't watched Paradise on Hulu.
Oh yeah, I watched that too.
Paradise on Hulu.
I watched the first episode.
Yeah. That's my buddy. That's my buddy Dominic Garcia's show. He produced that, and he was the second unit director on a couple episodes. And so yes, go watch that show. He's working on season 2 right now. I know that guy, and I really want make more of that show.
Any other recommendations? Anybody got any other recommendations?
Not right.
I saw Ballerina this morning.
Oh.
And, I absolutely can recommend it. It is a good John Wick movie.
Oh, good. I was curious about that, whether it was going to be good or not.
I'll check it out.
Tight story, compelling character, all the elements of the John Wick universe that you want. Not exhausting fights. They are crisp. The fights are crisp. Like John Wick 3 and 4. I get bored with the fights. The fights are too
long.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, Ballerina, the fights are crisp, and I enjoyed it very much. It's reminiscent of the first John Wick.
Since you're bringing it up, there's rumblings, and they've been attached for a while. It's like the original John Wick director and Henry Cavill are making a Highlander remake. And I think that I hope that's good, like good sword action with Henry Cavill. Like, I hope
sword fight.
Yeah,
sword fight.
So I hope that actually comes through.
Pat, you got a recommendation for us?
No, not really. Here's my recommendation. Here's my recommendation. Go read Dungeon Crawler Carl. That is my recommendation. Like,
that's a great recommendation.
Yes, that is a great book. Super fun. I've just been reading all those. Those are super goofy and violent and hilarious.
I'm gonna download the Audible.
Yeah. No, the Audible is next level because the guy who does the voices is so good, and it is so entertaining. One of the best, most entertaining audiobooks I've ever listened to, for sure.
Nice.
Yeah,
cool. That's a great recommendation. Good job.
We gotta finish with, okay, we're back at it. We had a hiatus for a year and a half. We have to, this is my opinion, we need to get to episode 200.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we commit to that?
Yes.
Do you want 200 beyond, or are we done after 200?
Well, I throw this out there because we're all busy people.
Yes.
I'm saying let's get back at it and get at least to 200.
At least. Okay.
I got a baby that's gonna be born in about 2 months.
We gotta get as many in before baby time as we possibly can. But
oh my god!
Even with your demands on your time, Andrew, I think
I can find an hour and a half every couple of weeks.
You're gonna be a very busy person.
You can find an hour and a half every couple of weeks. He might be real tired. You could take a nap while we're.
Our fans will appreciate that we will commit to getting to at least 200. Our listeners have been waiting for a long time.
I like the nice number of 200. Yes. I'm down with that.
Let's get to that.
All right.
We'll decide.
Okay. All right.
Cool.
Thank you for listening. We're the Brothers Geek. Listen to our podcast on iTunes and Spotify and brothersgeek.com and YouTube. We're on YouTube, Brothers Geek. Cool. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.